When you think of the Wild West, few names stand taller than Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. One was a lawman, the other a gambler and a gunslinger with a deadly reputation. Yet against all odds, these two men formed one of the most unlikely and legendary friendships in American history. Let's dive into how Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp knew each other and the stories of their time together. The story begins in the late 1870s. Wyatt Earp was already known as a lawman, drifting through towns like Dodge City, Kansas. Doc Holliday, meanwhile, was a southern gentleman turned gambler after tuberculosis ended his career as a dentist. Their worlds collided in Dodge City, where Wyatt was trying to keep the peace, and Doc was earning a reputation at the card tables, and sometimes at the end of a pistol. The two met through mutual respect. Wyatt valued men who could stand their ground, and Doc admired Wyatt's toughness and sense of justice. Despite their differences, lawman and outlaw, healthy and sick, reserved and hot-tempered, they became fast friends. In Dodge City, Wyatt often called on Doc for backup when situations turned ugly. Doc's reputation as a fearless gunfighter meant that simply having him nearby could cool down a heated saloon in seconds. For Wyatt, Doc wasn't just a friend, he was insurance. But the friendship went deeper. Wyatt looked past Doc's drinking and gambling, seeing a man who was loyal to the core. Doc, who rarely trusted anyone, found in Wyatt a brother he could count on. In 1880, Wyatt headed to Tombstone, Arizona, seeking fortune in silver mining. Doc followed soon after. Their bond only grew stronger as tensions in the boomtown rose between the Earps and the outlaw cowboys. Doc often defended Wyatt in barroom arguments and street confrontations, and Wyatt, in turn, stood by Doc even when townsfolk called for him to leave. Their loyalty was tested and proven, time and again. Then came October 26, 1881, the day that cemented their names in history. The gunfight at the OK Corral. Wyatt, his brothers, and Doc Holliday faced off against the Clanton and McClory brothers in a 30-second blaze of gunfire. Doc fought side by side with Wyatt, shotgun in hand. Wyatt later admitted he may not have survived that day without Doc's fearless support. The battle left men dead, and the legend of their partnership written in blood. After the gunfight, revenge came swiftly. Wyatt's brothers were ambushed, Virgil crippled, Morgan killed. Wyatt launched his infamous Vendetta Ride against the cowboys, and Doc was right there with him, despite his worsening health. Together, they hunted down those responsible, riding across Arizona in a storm of frontier justice. For Doc, it wasn't just about vengeance, it was about loyalty to his friend. Eventually, their paths split. Wyatt left the West behind for California, while Doc's illness caught up with him in Colorado. In 1887, Doc Holliday died in a Glenwood Springs sanatorium, far from the gunfights and saloons that defined his life. Wyatt lived until 1929, but he never forgot his friend. In his later years, Wyatt often spoke of Doc Holliday with respect and affection, saying he was the most loyal man he had ever known. The friendship between Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday is more than a Wild West tale. It's a story of loyalty, respect, and the kind of bond that defied the odds. A lawman and a gambler standing together in history's most dangerous streets. And that's why, even today, their names are forever linked as one of the West's greatest partnerships. If you enjoyed this look at Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday's legendary friendship, hit that like button, subscribe for more Wild West history, and share this with anyone who loves a good frontier story.